Welcome to the Ranger Wrap-Up. We are back live. Not live, but we just got back from LA Comic-Con. We watched this week's episode, which was called
Worgworld,
which is a play off of Westworld, actually.
Oh, speaking of Westworld, do you guys tune in on Sunday for Westworld?
No, well, to watch Westworld, yes, but
I
to
was
see the after
going
show.
to say, thank you very much. You should definitely check out that hashtag show.
You were on it last week.
I was on it last week with the awesome Daniel, awesome team member. Bullets and Milk. Hashtag Bullets and Milk. The hashtag show Westworld after show.
That's right.
With my man Joseph Deckelmeyer and Maverick.
Periodically.
Well, sometimes. But when you're on, you're on.
When we're on. Here we go. We're going to be talking about some Power Ranger news.
Power Ranger news.
What show's this? Dino Supercharge. That's right, Power Rangers Dino Superchage. I was jumping the gun there. Ninja Steel is what I was going to say.
We're professionals. We know what we're doing.
I saw the future, and the future says Ninja Steel. But let's get into the news. Real quick, we're going to talk about, well, this is why. Power Rangers Ninja Steel news. Yosef Guzum, he will be composing the musical cues on the show, replacing, or who was previously done it was Gnome Kenyo. He did the Samurai theme and the Megaforce theme.
Yeah.
DJ, what are your inputs on this?
Well, what's interesting about it is Noam has been doing it since Neo Saban. So we're talking about Samurai, Megaforce, and Dino Charge. And if you pay attention to the shows, the background music all sounds the same. Where's that Ron Weiserman, man? Where's that classic good?
Dude, that's his movie.
That's what got me hyped, you know what I mean? So what's interesting is both of them are still credited, so he's not taking over. So we're not entirely sure what his contribution is going to be.
And it's also kind of fitting that we're talking about this story to kick off the episode because this did have a lot to do with a musical episode.
It does work. So presumably one is going to possibly do the theme song and the other one is going to contribute the background music or a collaboration of both. We don't know exactly what it is, man.
That's right. Well, moving on. Released today as we saw it, was the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger cover for number 8 by Boom Studios. Have you picked up your copy yet?
I have not. Have you?
No, because it's not out yet.
Oh,
but
God.
It is out, actually.
Actually, I'm like, yeah, actually, that's the announcement.
It is out. I actually haven't picked it up, though.
Sure.
It's literally waiting next door for me.
And then you're going to pick mine up, too, at the same time.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah, right.
But it's out. The covers are out. What do you think?
I love the covers. You already know I love the covers, man. But the covers are beautiful. They're always different artists, different stylings. You got Jason on top of the Zord, kicking butt with Tommy.
You did say you're not a fan of the action figure covers.
They're not my favorite, man. They're very generic, is what it is. But at the same time, pick it up, Boom Studios, regardless of the cover, get your copy now.
All right, moving on. Something that was pretty big in Power Ranger news, at least for the movie, was that we saw the action figure of the T-Rex Zord, which actually, I said in previous episodes, I got to see the T-Rex Zord for myself, and this is exactly what I saw. This is what it looks like. This is it. I didn't see the toy thing. I saw the actual concept, but this is it.
But for the rest of us who don't have special access privilege, like my man Joe here, so we get this deluxe, what am I life? So we have the deluxe T-Rex Zord from the Lionsgate Power Ranger movie, which is approximately retailed at $39.99. That is what they were prototyped as, and it's interesting. I mean, it is a very red T-Rex. So it's an alien T-Rex though. It's kind of.
It is a very red T-Rex.
It is a very red T-Rex. Man, at least.
Well, let me ask you. Does it remind you anything of the Transformers like dinosaurs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's very alien, and to be honest with you, Transformers kind of set the grounds as far as big mechas recently.
Would you say it's sleeker?
I would say it's distinguishable enough just because it is bright. It is bright. It is a main primary color of red, as opposed to I don't know, Transformers were pretty colorful. Like Bumblebee is pretty yellow in the movie, so I like them though. I mean, it fits with the alien tech, with the suits, with the Morpher. And speaking of the Morpher, they also released pictures of the toy Morpher of the suits. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Okay, so they're reminiscent of the size of the original Mighty Morphin Morpher, but it looks like a big swirly with the cookie in the middle.
Yeah, it looks weird to me.
It's different. I mean, I'm still gonna pick it up. I love Morphers.
I'm not gonna pick it up, but I am gonna say that I'm interested to see how it plays on film.
Sure.
Because maybe the reason why. I don't know. Maybe it plays into like how the costume looks. I mean, I'm not sure yet, so I'm really curious to see how it works out.
Yeah, as am I. And the other toy that has been at least released images-wise has been the Red Ranger sword, which almost looks like a tail, so to speak. So it's an alien sword. It does almost look like an attachment, and it's really interesting. Have you seen that? Nope. It's different. It's definitely not your original Power Sword from the '93 TV show, man. And this one's supposed to come out at priced at $29.99 as well. So we'll see.
Well,
I mean, at least we're finally seeing toys.
The prices aren't outrageous though, surprisingly.
They're not bad, but you also have to assume this is like the battle gear. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, we have the deluxe T-Rex, we have the deluxe Morpher, and then we have the deluxe Power Sword.
You're a collector. There's
am
going
a
to be a lot of
collector.
items, you think?
I think they're going to be items of interest. Now, I think what's going to make or break it as far as it really doing well is the movie doing well. So shout out to the movie. Make sure we support Power Rangers the movie because we want to see more Power Ranger movie, which means, hey, great for the property. And it's cool to be Power Ranger fans again, which it is.
Speaking of collections, Tamashii Labs is a new form of making things that challenge the Bandai, that challenge the Bandai's collectors division.
Absolutely. What they're coming out with now.
I felt like I just did a rap there, like you did last week.
Well, you know, I got my skills from Granddaddy Joe.
Granddaddy, I'm like literally a year older than you.
You know, kind of like a grandmaster, but granddaddy.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, they're coming out. The Tamashii Lab line hasn't come up with a lot of stuff. They've done like a couple of Gavin swords. So, but what they're doing for Rangers, Gavin is Gavin's swords. So Gavin is he's a metal hero in Japan. So he's another tokusatsu.
I thought it was like a name of a sword that you were like a line.
What? The name of the okay, but anyways,
a line of a sword.
So, anyways, they're coming out with the Symphony Zyosoken. So for those who don't know, that's the Japanese equivalent to our American Green Ranger Dragon Dagger.
Now, I saw this thing. It looks amazing.
It does look beautiful. The main thing that really stands out is the stand that looks very translucent green. It kind of reminiscent to a jade stand and has a beautiful giant Green Ranger dragon coin in the middle. But if you look at it really quick, it pretty much looks like our legacy Dragon Dagger, man. So that's the main thing. But obviously, since it's Japan, they're gonna have different electronics. They're gonna strip it down. They're gonna make it good for the market.
Do you think they'll make it affordable?
They are gonna do what they do best, which is, it's gonna be more than ours. Okay. Well, ours was about 70, 80. I would imagine this is at least gonna be 100. And that's before middleman fees.
But worth shipping. It, though. You get like a stand with it, too, so I think worth it.
It's pretty dope.
This is something actually I would probably get. Because the standalone, like, it's a great display piece.
Absolutely, absolutely. So at the very least, it's pretty.
Yep. In our last bit of news, unfortunately,
don't do it.
Greg from Bandai is leaving. Now, you all might not know who Greg is, or you might know who he is, but if you don't know who he is, this is the equivalent of like Kevin Feige leaving as Marvel president. Or
absolutely.
Somebody that's really passionate about something. Like a lot of fans would say now, like Chip Lin leaving again. This is very similar to a lot of these situations. Greg has been a champion of getting the Power Ranger legacy lines out.
Yeah.
He was a champion of all the things that we're getting now that are like, oh, well, I wish these would have came out when I was a kid. Well, we're getting them now as adults, and he was a champion behind that. He is moving on to things that are
bigger and better. Well, just different and
things.
Better for his situation, because Greg is a friend of mine. We were talking a little bit, and the great thing about Greg from Bandai is he was one of us. Like, he likes toys. He likes Power Rangers. Anytime you thought conventions and if there was going to ever be like a line release, whether it was a spring line, summer line, it was Greg. Greg, you ever go to, you ever seen like a toy show where you have like the spokesperson like, hey, grab your Fisher Price, such and such.
Fisher Price, holy shit, you're bringing it back to me.
Yeah, and you know what? It has all these great features. Look at these missiles. Oh, I'm sorry, missiles. That's not Greg. Greg knew exactly what every property was. He knew what a Dragon Dagger was. He knew what a Ninja Falcon Megazord was. He himself was a fan. So, Greg, we're gonna miss you, man. Power Ranger collecting and toys will not be the same without you, sir. But
congratulations on moving on to whatever it is you're moving on to.
Yes.
And we wish you best in your future endeavors. Now, Power Rangers Dino Supercharge Worgworld. Let's check out a clip right here now.
Hey, who are those guys?
Huh. It isn't Halloween, is it?
No. Maybe they're street performers.
Begin, Screech!
Oh no. Hate trumpet music. What the?
Zombies attack!
The monsters! Guys, quick, cover your ears!
All right, Worgworld.
Worgworld. You love this episode.
I did like it. I liked it a lot, actually.
No, you loved this episode.
I did, and I'll tell you why. For those of you that don't know me, here's a fun fact. And this is probably, I know that we're doing these castings later on. They'd be like 15 things to know. One of the things to know about me is I like classic horror movies, and this is a very big, this was a trope of a horror movie, kind of like George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, like the original like 1960 film.
Yeah.
This reminded me so much of that, and I love watching the zombies that have like just the dark eyes,
dark circles,
because you know the special effects
the pale
back then
skin.
weren't the best, and I thought that this paid homage to that. Honestly, had we not gotten that clip show that was our Halloween episode, this would have been a great Halloween episode.
You mentioned that. You know, I 110%. If we have to have Halloween episodes, like because it seems like we do now, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something in honor of, so we don't know if it's something where they have to show us clip shows, but it's a wasted episode as far as I mean, I enjoy it from what it is, but they're wasted. It could be this.
Well, this is one of the main reasons why I did like it though, is that because of all that stuff I mentioned previously, but also because you can take this and say yes, it was part filler, but it was
a lot filler.
No, it was part filler and a lot of moving, driving content. Because if you think about it, which we'll get to in a bit, it sets up so many things that are finally coming to a close.
I think the vehicle that they have mentioned is huge.
Yeah.
It's still pretty filler to me.
Well, let's get into
the episode.
Because when we first kick everything off, we're, as we always are, and I feel like a lot of episodes, we start off in the ship.
Sledge's ship.
Sledge's ship. And Point Sandra is trying to like figure out like what the secret was from the last week's episode.
Oh, dude, what was interesting about that is poor Sandra kind of that main chick.
Yeah.
She cornered Snide into the corner, and it's like, you know what? You promised me a secret, which is weird that she wasn't even told the secret yet. So come to find out. But if you remember, she made that deal with Heckle, not Snide, and she was confronting Snide about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and this, all right. So I will take off half a point for this because this is what doesn't make sense to me.
It was weird, right?
It was strange because why is she releasing Heckle for Snide? It didn't compute with me, and it still now even doesn't make complete sense to me.
And just to piggyback off that, I will say this: to me, character-wise, it didn't make sense for Snide to have to obligate anything. It really made sense at the end.
Yeah,
it made sense. It worked for its favor at the end, but at that moment in time, you didn't know that was going to happen yet.
Well, let me ask you: do you think that the setup for like where we're going and where we think things are going, do you think that that's been like it's been well addressed? Do you think it like? Because I feel like we've been building and building and building and building, and now we're starting to get answers. But now I'm starting to get the answers where I don't think that I wanted an answer this way.
Sure. So in the way I'll say it is, I think we're gonna get what we're gonna get. It's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be as satisfying as it can be because again, we've had a lot of filler episodes.
Okay.
You know what
fair.
I mean?
I mean that's fair. Listen,
Yeah.
you say it's mostly filler. I say it's a good. I say it was 60-40.
Oh, you're being very generous, sir. But with that said, moving on.
I'm a generous guy.
You are sometimes.
Generous guy.
Hey, forget about it.
But we're moving on though. You know what was
But
a real boss moment?
What was boss moment?
Is when Snide is just walking through and he just fucking kills all the language. Captain America here.
Hey.
He kills all it destroys all the who was there? The blue cloud head looking.
Oh, I'm
guy.
tripping. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Remember the blue cloud head looking guy? He
Yeah,
just
yeah,
went, "Phew," and they disappeared.
You know what I love about that charge though? Like Snide was ready to murder like Heckle. He's like, man, I'm about to destroy him. We're separated now. Hey, no one's gonna get in my way. And that's where we get Poisandra, corner him in the corner. Hey, you promised me a secret. What's that secret? Then he whispers the secret. Now, let me ask you something. When she whispers the secret, did you know what it was?
I had a good idea.
I felt like I knew what it was. Which is fine. It's Power Rangers, and we love Power Rangers. So moving on, we get back to the Dino Museum, and we get Worg display.
Okay.
And who is Worg, Joe?
Coda.
Well, kind of.
Oh wait.
Kinda.
Worg is a robot caveman. It's reminiscent of Coda, but it's a robot caveman. And all right, so Worgworld and Westworld. I don't know if you do watch Westworld. If you don't watch Westworld, Westworld is about androids that work in a park that are seemingly human-like, and that's and it's there for the guests' entertainment. Mm-hmm. So Worgworld is essentially about this character, this robot named Worg, who is the caveman at the museum.
Yep.
That Coda kind of takes a liking to because it reminds him
of his friends in the past.
Of the past, yeah. But the thing about this is that the Worg isn't doing so well in terms of like functionality or in terms of like getting people to actually see it. Worg is always breaking down, doing different commands, and
Worg has some hiccups. Matter of fact, let's
Yeah.
talk about that real quick. So we see Worg on display, and he's doing, kind of animatronics. So stuff you would see on Disneyland's It's a Small World or Pirates of the Caribbean. So he's doing very basic commands.
Right.
Now, he's being controlled by a headset. Miss Morgan is wearing it at the time. This is what didn't make sense to me. And again, love Power Rangers to death. He's malfunctioning a little bit, and just to kind of give him a different command, she tells Worg to attack. And he almost javelin somebody.
Yeah.
He almost speared somebody.
He's not so great with the word attack.
But why would you tell anything to attack?
Maybe it was a test. I don't know. That
It was a terrible test.
All right, that was out of place. I will agree.
Sure.
I will agree with that.
So anyways, Koda is obviously vouching for Worg because, that's kind of his buddy. So
Coda's an adorable character, too, this season.
I feel like this season is almost, because I did call it Power Rangers Ice Age, because the reason why, because Ice Age, the monster, always survives everything. It's been brought back like 4 times. I almost want to call this Power Rangers Koda.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
Koda.
episodes focused on Koda and Tyler mainly.
Shout out to Yoshi Sudarso. I mean, he obviously is one of the best things that happened to this season.
Yeah, I didn't see him this weekend.
He's a friend of yours?
He is a friend of mine.
So, again, never enough Koda, but at the same time, there's been a lot of Koda-centric episodes.
Yeah, I got some jabroni over here yelling things at me. But no, Coda's great. I think that when we get to what happens after that?
Oh, so basically, Koda has to put Worg in storage.
Oh yeah.
We get the baddies.
That's because the kid, the grandfather and kid come up and he pulls off the toupee.
Actually, it was a little bit more than that. So, Dino Cafe. Koda puts Worg in the kitchen.
I love this scene though. You know why I love this scene?
Why do you like this scene?
Because when people were getting hit in the face with tomatoes, it looked so awesome. It was hilarious.
And that's the problem. Worg malfunctions and starts tomato basing.
Did you? All right, I don't know if anybody else caught this. When Ivan comes in the back and he talks to Koda and he's like, "You're doing. What did he say? You're being really efficient today, Koda." Did you notice that? That must have been a dubbed scene because his actual lips don't match with what he's saying.
I did not notice that.
Check it out. Go back and check that out because it
Sure.
doesn't actually. I don't think he ever says Koda.
Sure.
So I'm really curious because you got to think Koda doesn't make the burgers. It's usually
Tyler
Chase.
or Chase.
It's usually Chase. Chase is the chef.
Oh, is that right?
Remember, he made the palova cake.
No. True that. I didn't know it was actually specific to just Chase.
I think it's just Chase that makes the burgers. I think.
So, anyways, Worg messes up. Tomatoes, everybody.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get corrected.
But
I'm
we
pretty
love
sure
you
I'm
guys.
right.
But we love you guys. That's the point. Anyways, we got our villains of the week.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
This
like
was cool,
a black and white villain duo. I know one of them was named Screech or something like that. I actually did not catch the other guy's
That
name.
was Saved by the Bell, man.
Definitely AC Slater was the other guy.
Yeah.
So anyways, their powers, they have a trumpet that turns people into.
Oh, zombies.
There you go.
But like classic zombies. Like we're talking 1960s, like dark eyes.
Not Walking Dead zombies.
Zombies.
Like brains.
Yeah, we're talking those kind of zombies. And I love that because I love these kind of like cheesy. I love cheesy horror movies from like the 1950s and 60s. There's some of the best stories.
So you felt like this was well done.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
So anyways, the way people turn into zombies, they're still zombies as long as they hear the trumpet. So we have trumpets playing. But Koda is wearing the command headset for Worg.
Yeah.
And so Chase always wears a head. Actually, I didn't even realize that. Chase does carry headphones a lot.
Yeah, always.
So that was cool. Anyways, the Rangers get affected by everything except for Koda and Chase. And even then, Chase eventually gets the headphones off. But point is, the powers are the trumpet. So the trumpet is the big tool.
So the way that it works
Yeah.
is that I guess the music has to actually physically hit the ears but their ears were covered up.
But once it's covered up, they could actually go back and forth.
Exactly. Actually, I like the fact that they did that.
covered their ears.
They covered their ears and they did it back and forth. I thought it was a lot of fun. Did you notice too that when Koda was chased into the Dino Bite Cafe or whatever it's called, that all the zombies were dressed in black and white to give it the feel of a black and white movie?
Man,
it was black and gray.
You actually
Actually,
paid attention to the details.
I love this
wanna
stuff, man.
No, I'm actually really impressed. I'm really, really impressed. So anyways,
Things that happen when you eat popcorn.
very true. But since it is such a simple solution, but since you do have the simple solution of them covering their ears and them coming back to normal,
Yeah.
the Rangers are able to pull it together.
Yep.
Koda leads the first morph.
Yes, but it wasn't a morph. It's morphin time though. Did you notice that? He didn't say it's morphin time.
Did he not?
No.
What did he say?
He said something else. It was
Like Dino Charge is ready? Like
no, what was it? It's like Energem's ready. It was something along those
But
lines.
he didn't
He didn't say it's morphin time, which I thought was kind of like interesting.
Sure. Okay.
But he did lead the charge in the call, we'll say.
Yeah. So the Rangers have a quick fight with the new villains. They're basically able to destroy, get to the trumpet, destroy that, and problem solved. Okay, no problem. We go back to the Sledge's ship.
Yes.
We have a really angry Snide. Let me get these Rangers and Arcanon, and we're gonna get to the end.
And we're
talking
also,
about this.
are we at the scene yet? Are we at the parts yet where Heckle's like hiding and kind of like peeking out?
I don't think that happened until the end.
Okay.
I don't think that happened until the end. So, anyways, we have a new plan because one thing that the monsters did discover is the Rangers aren't willing to fight civilians as zombies. I mean, why would they? They care. They're here to serve and protect the civilians.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I love this part actually.
So the plan is, okay, we're gonna blast the music now. We're gonna play it even louder so we could basically turn everybody into zombies and they can get the Energem for us. So that's the new plan.
Which is a pretty good plan.
It's not a bad plan. But so the Rangers are now in a situation. Fight the civilians or
All right, so
yeah.
this was awesome because this is our first time that we get a sense of morality in Power Rangers that I've seen.
A conflict.
But a real life conflict.
Yeah.
Of saying like, listen, we actually have to fight these people even though they're being mind controlled.
Yep.
Or we just give them the Energems. And then here's why. Now this might go down in history as one of the biggest blunders under Tyler's leadership.
What?
It's
Come
because he
on.
says, you know what? Then I
Let's-
guess we got to fight the civilians. Come on.
No. Okay, I will say this. Not Tyler's finest moments. Here's the thing. It wasn't his idea first.
Well, he was
even
not-
say.
I'm not saying that
really
he was
quick,
actively wanting
really
to do it,
quick.
but he was definitely
You could
hesitant.
definitely say that the Rangers came up with. It might be a team bad decision.
Yeah, but here's the deal though. Would any other good leader would have
Shelby-
shot that down real quick?
Yeah, Jason definitely would. I'm kidding. But
Jason would have. I think Tommy probably would have.
Tommy got the Zords destroyed, sir. So that's all I got to say about that. So, anyways, they are faced with a decision.
Yeah.
Fight the zombie civilians.
Carter would have never let that happen.
Shout out to Carter, definitely at Lightspeed Rescue. Good choice. So Coda, using the caveman brain, good job, man. He says, you know what? Let's go to Plan W
Yeah, this is a good one.
for Worg. Gives them the command to serve as a distraction. He really does look like Coda. Like from a
does.
distance, he really does look like Coda. So the caveman runs away. The
Okay,
zombies.
he gets his attention first. He's
He's like, hey, look at me. They basically did the Jurassic Park move.
yeah, which
They did
actually,
the Jurassic Park move.
Think about how much this would have helped in actually like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like this Worg would have been the hero.
By the way, for those of you that went to LA Comic Con, so many Negans.
Negan is the new
I was
Harley
uncomfortable.
Quinn. Negan is
It-
the new Harley Quinn.
The new Deadpool as well. Like there were so many Negans. I felt very unsafe.
Yeah.
So, anyways, draws the civilians away. The Rangers are now able to fight the monsters in peace. So that was really cool. So now we have they find like a big record player blasting the music. So that's the point. We need to destroy that, turn the humans back into humans, and then save the day. That's what we want.
That's what we want.
So, what was really cool about this episode, this is the first time we've seen the Dino Spike Charger, and we've seen the Xander Thunder, which I like to call from Sentai, but basically Ivan's Thunder Strike, and we also got to see Silver's Silver Prism Slash, all at the same time.
Slash.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah, it was a cool scene actually.
oh, you know what? I am so sorry. I'm getting way ahead of myself. They did that to Arcanon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got way ahead of myself. So, anyways, moving on. The Rangers are having a hard time. Silver out of nowhere shows up.
Straight out of nowhere.
Silver out of nowhere shows up.
That's his whole thing. He just sneaks up on people straight out of nowhere.
Yes. So, you know what I loved about the scene though? When Silver shows up, all the Rangers.
Rangers!
Kinda. What was that?
That was not the same.
That was not.
Rangers!
That's not what we're known for. So the Rangers are having a hard time, but when Silver shows up, the Rangers scatter and do their Ranger stuff. Silver, even Morph Dude, walks into battle. Did
Yeah,
you notice that?
he was boss.
He doesn't overexert himself. That was
I
really
mean,
cool.
you could tell that every movement he makes is really calculated.
Yeah, so
Really
he's
cunning.
definitely that big force. And I like that a lot. I mean, I really wish he was introduced earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, now we're getting to the good stuff. So with Silver's help, they destroy the record player. So now the zombies are humans again.
I mean, who plays records anyway?
You know, my grandfathers. So we have Arcanon. So
Daniel.
this
Daniel
was
Jerome.
Daniel Jerome. Shout out to Daniel Jerome. He's part of our hashtag team. Go
He
watch.
does, he's Westworld.
He's
does
in
the
Westworld. He
yeah.
does the flashpoints, and he's basically an all-around great guy. So moving on.
And plays records.
And he plays records. He's definitely the villain of the week. Good job. So, you know what's really cool about this? We have Arcanon show up. And, we still have the two bad guys from the black and white bad guys for the week. And Arcanon's not afraid to get his hands dirty. Takes out the Dark Energem. And turns into the Green Goblin.
He does turn into the Green Goblin.
No joke.
I think I was expecting to see the Talon Ranger at this point.
Yeah. I will say this. I say this once and I'll say it again. If nothing is done with Talon, wasted.
Wasted.
Well,
you had to assume that you thought he was. I mean, you thought he would turn.
I want Heckle to be the Talon Ranger.
Well, I mean, right now though.
Oh, sure. As far as the powers being introduced.
Yeah.
I want to see Talon, period, and we have a lot of reason to think that we're going to see him soon. Matter of fact, we even have a sound bit in the toy that actually says Talon Ranger, by the way.
Well, we have an Energem with
we have an Energem that makes sense for him to be Talon Ranger. But anyways, Arcanon is now the Green Goblin, and now we're getting to what I was talking about. Silver Prism Slash, Spike Attack. We got the Thunder Strike, and they did absolutely nothing.
Which I thought was awesome.
So that was a great. It
showed you how strong he was, yeah.
Establishment of strength. So Magna Beam. Oh man, not only is he going to get his hands dirty, we're going to giant up. We're going to giant up to your favorite thing in the whole wide world, which is a Zord battle. Well, sometimes.
This one wasn't bad though.
This one wasn't bad at all because it was quick and to the point, and it was really cool. It was really cool. So Titano, Dino Charge, Ultra Zord right away. They keep trying to attack, doesn't work. Keep trying to attack, doesn't work. I thought this one was kind of oversimplified. So they're just like, hey, let's just use our main attack that we've never done before. Which one? The main attack that we've never done before. Okay, great. Sounds like a plan.
Well, that makes total sense to me.
It's Power Rangers, you're right.
Obviously, there's the attack that you're not supposed to know about that you've already used. Duh.
You're right. I should have known better. Anyway, it's called the Ultra Plasma Final Blast.
Anything called plasma automatically wins.
That's a very true story because guess what? Monster extinct. Arcanon gets shrunken, so he's not destroyed. He gets shrunken down to minuscule size.
Minuscule size?
Compared to a big.
Sure.
Come on.
Minuscule size.
Come on. So he's separated from the Energem. And who picks up the Energem?
Who does pick up the Energem?
Sledge has returned.
He's back. The guy that was the most bad A villain in Power Rangers from a debut standpoint.
Who did he remind you of?
He reminded me of Dark Spectre.
You reminded me of Lord Zed.
He reminded me a little bit of Dark Spectre.
But here's the thing. Either way,
Dark Spectre's awesome, by the way.
Oh, but Lord Zed was that guy in the mask, and he had that presence. You know what I mean? Dark Spectre was a big.
I don't like they turned him into such a joke though. Zed, like in season 3.
Well, you got to give it up to the parents. They had to give it up to the parents. They had to give him a wife because Lord Zed was too scary.
He was scary though.
No, he was dope. The way okay, off tangent real quick. The way Lord Zed comes in, he's in a cloud. He's like, I am Lord Zed. You guys are screwed. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure he says that exactly. That's paraphrasing, but
quote me on that on Wikipedia.
He's just all muscle with no skin.
He is literally all muscle.
All muscle with no skin, but for real. And he looks so intimidating.
Yeah, he was like Vader, man.
Yeah,
he was
a lot like Vader.
Yeah.
Vader,
so
the
really
wrestler from WCW in the 90s.
Yeah, that's exactly the Vader I'm talking about. So anyways, we have Sledge return. We found out that Snide has turned turncoat.
Yeah.
He goes, he's a traitor to Arcanon. Now, here's one thing I think Joe and I did not like about it. As soon as Sledge returns,
I do not like this.
Arcanon kind of wusses up.
Bows down.
He kind of wusses up. Like, tail between his legs, like, oh, my friend.
Oh, I didn't know you were still around.
Oh, it's you.
Mole. Idiot. Mole. That's what he did. He was you're still here.
Arcanon went from, I will destroy you, to, oh, Sledge, how you been, buddy?
Can I be your Goldar?
You wanna, do something with the Rangers? And Sledge, I will say this, on a serious note, Sledge comes back so fierce, man.
And I'm happy, and he's back with his squad.
He had the whole team. This is squad goals, when you come back from the dead, and everybody strike a pose with you.
Yeah.
So, Porsandro, Wrench, Curio, we have Snide in the mix now, and we have Sledge leading. Dude, they're getting along fine. I think this is the first time. No, it's not. No, we've seen Sledge. This was interesting. This is the first time we've seen Sledge and Snide get along.
Yes.
So that was cool. And I don't know if this was wrapped up too fast. And this is the part I liked about the episode. This was my favorite thing about the episodes. The villain parts, you know what I mean? The war stuff, okay, great. War served its purpose as the distraction. But this is the cool stuff. So this is the
this is what I mean by moving the plot along. This was actually not. This obviously wasn't filler.
Yeah. Well, I want more of that. I mean, we have to assume
You wanted more of that in this episode or just in general?
in general, because I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Power Rangers. Joe and I love Power Rangers. Our producer JD, he loves Power Rangers. Hell, even Danny Jerome from Westworld and for the Flashpoint, he loves Power Rangers. But
Jessica, not so much.
Jessica is great, but doesn't like Power Rangers. So with that said, it could use a lot more, because again, if this has to be a Halloween episode, we have had great story elements. Like for instance, I think it was the Silver Secret that was a great one. You know,
Silver Secret might have been the best.
it might have been. That's a great one. So I don't know. We have like what, 3 episodes left?
Do we?
Maybe 3 or 4 episodes left. It's not a lot.
We have 3 episodes to wrap up 44.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So-
42, I think.
Anyways, Sledge is back. The big lesson of today's story is everybody has a purpose, because they did find a purpose for Worg, and now he is a fitness instructor. Yeah,
That was fun.
Richard Simmons style.
That was fun. People
For getting mighty.
people needed to
Morphin.
to get
Power Rangers.
get that dino, that little caveman exercise going.
Ward Tybo.
I'm all about it. Coda was doing it. All the Rangers were doing it. It was good. It was decent. What do you rank this episode?
2.5. No, I'll give it a 3.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
Get the hell out of
Yeah.
here. Sorry, get the heck out of here.
4, dude. I love the zombie stuff. You can't take that away.
I'm gonna say it a 3. I would almost go back to my 2.5, to be honest with you.
Do 2.5. I'm gonna say 4. You know what? You can't take zombies away from me.
No, that's great. That's great. And I will say this. You know, I'll say the 3 because, and not to agree with you, the zombie special effects was really cool. Seeing them kind of toggle back and forth.
And just look at the attention to detail with the wardrobe. They look like black and white zombies. But
Oh, it was
the way
awesome.
they're dressed. I thought it was pretty cool.
I'm not a big zombie guy. He's a big zombie guy. So
I'm a big horror fan. I'm not so much a zombie guy.
horror guy.
But I love horror movies.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm not a horror guy. Anyways, 3, 4, and that is our West Worg
episode of Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. Let's get to your questions and comments right now.
Do it. Okay, so Joe was just kidding. He said we're going to get to your questions and comments, and we will, right after our Morphin list.
Yes.
And today's Morphin list, because Joe loves zombies and old school horror, and basically this episode had to do with possessed people, so we're going to do our top 5 Morphin list of possessed Ranger moments throughout Power Ranger history. So, number 5.
The one in Samurai where blue fights everybody.
Kevin basically, and it was a great lead up in this episode, because Kevin gets brainwashed and they compliment Kevin as a samurai. They say he's really good, he's really skilled, and he might be just as good as Jaden.
Yeah.
He might be just as good as Jaden.
You know what's more impressive about this is that you just sold me on an episode of Power Rangers Samurai.
We did
That was pretty
We
impressive.
did it. Dang it if we didn't do it. That's like him selling me on an episode of Operation Overdrive outside of Once a Ranger. Shout out to IMAC. Thank you, JD, our producer. Coming in at number 4 is the episode from Super Megaforce, where Troy finally finds Robo Knights, and Robo Knight has become Dark Robo Knight, complete with black visor. So it comes down to Robo Knight versus the Rangers, and then Troy takes it upon himself to fight Robo Knight one-on-one.
And it was really good. This episode, it showed, it was one of the better Megaforce episodes, and it showed that there were actual
Super Megaforce,
and the actual stakes to what everybody was fighting for.
Yeah.
And it showed the closest we've ever seen to a public unmasking almost of Troy. Almost.
And actually, what's really cool about it is actually when it comes down to Troy and Robo Knight, this is the best I've actually seen from Andrew Gray.
Yeah.
Like, Andrew Gray was really good in this episode. It's a cool fight, not to mention it happens when Troy's unmorphed. And then he goes Super Saiyan. We need to find a cap of that, because Troy does go straight Super Saiyan and gives the ultimate Goku punch.
It's funny because he's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
There you go. So it worked out. There you go.
Number 3, Power Punks, Mighty Morphin Power
Punks.
Rangers. It was where Billy and Kimberly become punks.
Yeah.
And they go and bully everybody around in school.
They're basically the Bulk and Skull of the episode.
Fun fact, this is the 2nd episode of Power Rangers I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
The first one was the one about with Steve, or Uncle Steve took them flying.
Oh, that's right.
This was actually, no, I take it back. Reverse that. This was the first episode of Power Rangers.
Wow, you know, that's changing my history, because I know your first episode to be of Uncle Steve. You keep saying that.
I'm sorry. I think I know for a fact it's this one now, because I believe that they fight the Toad Monster in this one, and I know that that's the first villain I've ever seen in Power Rangers. Yeah, it's because he gets they're like Because I remember they have to go through his mouth and like get him out, right?
Interesting.
I'm like combining 2 episodes.
We might be doing all of them.
Anyways, Power Punks is my first ever Power Ranger episodes I ever saw.
So let me get to my number 2.
Go hit it.
Turbo, the movie.
Good call.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good call.
Oh my goodness. So this is where Divatox brainwashes Jason and Kimberly. And let me tell you this.
Bulk and Skull.
And Bulk and Skull. And guess what? I have never been more attracted to Amy Jo Johnson as a possessed Kimberly. I'll just be honest with you. She was a tough girl. She talked like this. She had a little rasp going on. And Jason was all about.
Maybe a little bit like Naomi Scott in the movie.
I think you're onto something. Shout out to Naomi Scott, future Kimberly. So, oh man, and Jason had some boss quotes.
Real boss.
Real boss. Say it for me one time.
Real
man.
boss.
That's my dog.
Real boss.
And Jason was killing it. We have almost another rematch between Jason and Tommy. They go at it.
I honestly thought we were gonna see it though. Because he was like, "I don't want to hurt you."
Yeah.
Tommy says, "I don't want to hurt you," and like you at that point, you weren't gonna hurt Jason.
Let's be honest. You had nothing on the boy. You know, the only thing that would have made that scene better to me is if Jason morphed into any Ranger.
Like
into any Ranger.
He morphed into Gold or Red Mighty Morphin.
Red Mighty Morphin versus Turbo Red?
that would've been pretty
That
cool.
would be pretty epic. So, Joe, my man, my brother, what's number 1?
Number 1 is Power Ranger Zeo, King for a Day. Now, if you don't
Yes.
remember this episode,
Yes,
this is
yes.
where Tommy gets brainwashed at the beach, and it's almost like Gladiator.
Oh,
where,
dude, there was a whole sequence of Tommy strapped to a chair.
on a chair, yeah. But
Like,
that became a
straight
throne.
Weapon X.
Yeah.
Straight Weapon X style, with actually complete with headgear.
Yep.
And you see, you know what, dude? And this is where you really saw the tone shift.
But also another cool scene about this, cool part about this show or this episode was that it starts off straight into that.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you how this happened. It just starts off with him strapped to a chair, like about to get brainwashed.
And this is where Mighty Morphin was really hitting or just Power Rangers in general started hitting its stride as pretty much kind of like a soap opera, like where
Especially this.
where the tropes wasn't all about lessons and picking up at the park and everything else like that. Zeo was super arc heavy.
Yeah,
you
and-
got parters.
And you got character development as you've never seen really in this show. Granted that you'd had seen a lot of these characters for 3 to 4 previous other seasons, but still,
You know them at this point.
you knew them. Yeah, but you still like somebody like Tanya. It really gave her a development. That was like her first season.
That was really cool that they did that because Tanya pretty much got thrown in, and then we got to know a lot about the new Yellow Ranger in Zeo.
If you're a fan of Power Rangers and King for a Day is not on your top 10 list, go and reevaluate your list.
I will say this.
Take those samurai episodes off.
It's probably, well, there you go. It's probably one of my favorite fights between Jason and Tommy.
Yeah, it was,
Zeo Gold versus Zeo
Because
Red
I feel like-
in an arena.
and it was their peaks of both being leaders at a point.
Absolutely. And you know what was really cool about that episode? The way it got resolved. It was Cat.
Yep.
Cat. Tommy has his blaster drawn at the Rangers unmorphed because the Rangers don't want to fight him. The Rangers demorph, and Cat, just, man, sweet as can be, takes the gun away, puts her thumb over the barrel, and just like, Tommy, we're your friends, and your amazing Australian accent that you
But I
have.
just like the way that JDF was delivering those lines. Ugh, I
Guys!
don't wanna hurt you.
Guys,
It was
we
very-
can't do it. No, they're my friends.
It was one of the. Oh man, it's still an amazing episode. Top 10 for sure in Power Ranger
Yes.
history.
So let us know, what are your favorite brainwash moments in Power Rangers? Are some of ours on your list? Let us know. Let us know about the ones that we haven't mentioned. There's a few that we talked about. So
Yep. But
So
let's get
now-
to questions and comments now. We'll get to questions and comments.
from last week's episode.
Yes. It's been a real change of pace compared to the last 4 years of the Neo Saban era. I only hope that Ninja Steel carries on, and I agree with you guys. Keep up the great work. BTW, Gokaiger, holy crap. This is how you do an anniversary season.
Yeah.
And yeah, DJ, I think I just ruined myself for all future seasons.
I was about to say, man, like, you don't go from Gokaiger to any other Sentai. I don't know, dude. Like, Gokaiger was really, really good. We have Oogmaster with 2 A's at the end. 4. He says, thanks for taking the time to read my comment from the last episode. You are very welcome. His top 5 Silver Rangers are number 5, Gemma. Number 4, Merrick. Number 3, Xenowing. Number 2, Zane. Number 1, Ryan Mitchell. Technically titanium, not silver, but in my opinion, close enough. I don't disagree. Being the first All-American created Ranger represented the era where Power Rangers was very ambitious and looked for new ways to make the show stand out even more in the U.S. Also, toys.
Toys, yeah.
Toy sales. Toys. Mikey Perez, his comment is, can't believe Dino Charge is almost over. Like, dude, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes left. Like, there's not a lot.
Yeah. Well, I heard that the last episode that's labeled is a 2-parter, though. So
Yeah, maybe.
part 1 and part 2. So.
Oh, hopefully it's epic enough to be a countdown to destruction to where it's satisfying.
Hopefully.
And that's not a lot of time for Talon Ranger if there is a Talon Ranger. So we'll see. Anyways, he loved the cast. They set the bar high for Ninja Steel. His favorite Silver Ranger list is number 5, Merrick. Number 4, Ryan from Lightspeed. Number 3, Zane. Number 2, Xenowing. Number 1, Psycho Silver, even though that was really Zane in disguise. That's okay. Good choice, man. Mario Ayala. Amazing Ranger wrap-up, guys. Thank you, Mario. He really likes Dino Supercharge episode, and the part when Xenowing blasts Nightmare in the head was hilarious because I never saw that coming. His top 5 Silver Ranger list is number 5, Tyzon. Fine. Number 4, Orion. Number 3, Gemma. Number 2, Xenowing. Number 1, Merrick. And he also says, great job as always, guys.
Thank you very much.
Also, really quick, I don't have anything against Tyzon. I don't like Overdrive.
Like I don't like Samurai. Andrew Suarez, I think it's best to keep changing the cast because if they didn't, we wouldn't get future team-up episodes.
But we love Dino Charge cast.
And see how the team interacts with each other. Now on to my Morphin list. Number 5, Gemma. Number 4,
Good.
Orion. Number 3, Merrick. Number 2, Xenowing. And number 1, you had the same number 1 as us, and that's, no, we didn't have this guy's. Oh, maybe we did. Zane.
No, we didn't. He was number 2.
Just kidding. We didn't have him at number 1. Shadowbird084. Top 5 Silver Rangers in no particular order. Number 1. Well, it's a particular order. I'm going to read it from 5 to 1. Xenowing is at number 5. Gemma's at number 4. Merrick at 3. Titanium at 2. And Zane at 1. Zane is getting a lot of 1s. Honorable mentions. Nova from SPD. Orion. And your favorite Tyzon. BT Dubs.
Nova?
Nova.
Oh, I guess she was Silverish. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
BTW. The mentioning of having a crush with Claire Blackwelder and Camille Hyde. How can you not have a crush on them? They're the best. I agree.
So you can't blame us.
Right?
There you go.
Two Fat Games, thanks for commenting. First of all, Freaky Fright Day was a great episode. I love when the characters get switched with each other.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like the switching of voices. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're right.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I agree.
Top 5 Silvers. Number 5, Orion. Number 4, Zane. 3, Merrick. 2, Xenowing. 1, Gemma. Mostly because he had a huge crush on her. Honorable mention.
Gemma was cute.
SPD Nova, because her suit was cool.
That's true.
Glad I started watching these wrap-ups. I always look forward to them, and we always look forward to your comments. Two Fat Games.
Too fat. Thank you so much for that. So we're moving on to Black Wayne 2040. He says, thank you so much, DJ, for the Sentai recommendations. I know I got a lot of watching to do, but I know I'm going to enjoy these. He also loves how we're going to have retro Ranger wrap-ups because he loves talking about past Ranger seasons, and he also has the top 10 Power Ranger seasons on his video on his channel, so check it out.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go, man. His list is number 5, Gemma, because she's pretty cool. I didn't really like how they had her and Gem spoke in sync while finishing each other's sentences, but her Tiger Jet was awesome. Okay. Number 4, Zane, because he really liked his character and the relationship between him and Corone is a plus, and his Silver Riser is awesome. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that they dropped the Astronema Corone attraction all of a sudden. Yeah, that's all right though. Number 3, Merrick. He did love Zanaku and that saga. It played a huge part in Wild Force, and he's a good player in pool. That's true. Number 2, Xenowing, because he is a master swordsman, and he loves his signature move, the Prism Slash, Silver Prism Slash. And he's such a great asset to the team. And when he morphs, he just walks into battle where everyone else is like scattered around like little bugs. Xenowing,
it's a good reason why he was at our number 1.
Yeah, he's really, really dope, actually. And his number 1 is Orion because he brought the excitement to Super Mega Force, plus he's a Silver Ranger that can turn into any 6th Ranger in PR history. That's true. Plus his gold mode is also Beast.
That's real Beast.
That's real Beast. And not to mention Silver is his favorite 6 Ranger color. Power Ranger fan, he writes his top 6 Silver Rangers. Okay, so he's going to give us 6. His honorable mention, so he's going to give us a few more. His honorable mentions is Gemma, Opera Ranger Series Silver from RPM, and Tyzon, Mercury Ranger from Operation Overdrive, my favorite season ever.
Yeah.
Number 6 is Orion from Super Mega Force. Number 5 is Merrick, Lunar Wolf Ranger. Number 4 is Zane, OG Silver Ranger, the very first. Number 3 is Ryan, the Titanium Ranger. Number 2, Doggy Kruger.
Shadow is. I don't know if Shadow.
I don't know if he's kind of a black ranger. If he had to be a
he
color.
also is blue. There's tons of blue in his
Yeah,
face.
but he has like a blue helmet, but the rest of it is black.
Ish.
So, but
It's a show on ABC if you're not watching.
Number 2 is dope. Okay, fine. But number 2 is Shadow Ranger. Why not? And number 1 is Xenowing. And also, Shut Up, Dax. History of Power Rangers. That's right. We had a Dax. We did have a Dax.
All right, Abigail Parker, which is an awesome person. Okay, after this wrap up, DJ, how about rapping the top 5 theme songs? I mean, Ranger wrap up.
Oh, I get it.
Sorry, bad joke, she
Here
says.
we
That's hilarious.
go to outer space. Okay, that's gonna take a while. Keep going. Continue Abigail Parker's comment. The whole cast did a great job at switched body scenes. Oh, and Chase's girlfriend's name is Kaylee. That's great because we couldn't remember. He remembers.
Oh, it was Kaylee.
But he remembers Wayne. Last but not least, his top 5 Silver Ranger list is... Abigail's top 5 Ranger
does
list
say
is
that.
Mercury Ranger from Operation Overdrive. Number 4, Orion from Super Megaforce. Number 3, Gemma, Silver Ranger from RPM. Number 2, Zane. Number 1 from In Space. But number 1 on the list is Xenowing, badass Silver Ranger from Dino Supercharge. P.S. Awesome Super Mario Pillow, Winky Face. That's not it.
That was it.
Was it? Oh, that is it. That is awesome. Made by our awesome teammate, Jasmine Loves You.
Yes.
Our last but not least comment is from Tom Craven. He says, I'm sorry guys, been busy with life and a new job. His top 5 Silver Rangers are, and he based the list on their backstory and what they brought to the team and the overall story. So his list goes number 5, Tyzon. Number 4, Xenowing. Number 3, Ryan Mitchell. Number 2, Orion. Number 1, Merrick. And I feel like we should have had Ryan on our list from last week, but that's why you give us your list. And now we want you to give us your list for top 5 brainwashed Ranger moments.
Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Stay with us next week. We have another great episode. I think we have another great. I hope we have another great
I'm
episode.
pretty sure we do.
Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.